today I'm going to start with a short video. Okay, so watch that video and try to understand the concepts, and then we'll switch over to our next topic, that is adding more tables to the database. Yes, Yashnil sent me a link. Yashnil, I'll see it after the class, okay? I saw your first video. I really liked it. It was very good. I have given a like also, and I've given your comment, given a comment also. Subscribe, of course, I'll do it today, right? Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, so watch this video very carefully.
Welcome to this tutorial series on SQL and database. But before we learn about database, let's understand what is data. In simple words, data can be facts related to any object in consideration. For example, your name, age, height, weight, etc. are some data related to you. A picture, image, file, PDF, etc. can all be considered data. Now, what is a database? We already know what data is, but this data could be random. A database is a systematic collection of data. Since the data in a database is organized, it makes data management easy. What is a database management system? DBMS. Database Management System, or DBMS, is a collection of programs which enables its users to access a database, manipulate data, and help in the representation of data. It also helps control access to the database by various users. Let's discuss a few examples. An online telephone directory would definitely use Database Management System to store data pertaining to people, phone numbers, and other contact details. Your electricity service provider is obviously using a DBMS to manage billing, client-related issues, to handle fault data, etc. Let's consider the Facebook. It needs to store, manipulate, and present data related to members, their friends.
Shivansh Dikshit, please keep yourself muted. Don't unmute without the teacher's permission.
Member activities, messages, advertisements, and a lot more. We can provide countless numbers of examples for usage of DBMS. Database management systems are not a new concept, and as such had been first implemented in the 1960s. Charles Bachman's Integrated Data Store, or IDS, is said to be the first DBMS in history. With time, database technologies evolved a lot, while usage and expected functionalities of databases have been increased immensely. Types of DBMS. Let's see how the DBMS family evolved with time. The following diagram shows the evolution of DBMS categories. There are 4 major types of DBMS. Let's look into them in detail. Hierarchical. This type of DBMS employs the parent-child relationship of storing data. This type of DBMS is rarely used nowadays. Its structure is like a tree with nodes representing records and branches representing fields. The Windows registry used in Windows XP is an example of a hierarchical database. Configuration settings are stored as tree structures with nodes. Network DBMS. This type of DBMS supports many-to-many relationships. This usually results in complex database structures. RDM Server is an example of a database management system that implements the network model. Relational DBMS. This type of DBMS defines database relationships in forms of tables, also known as relations. Unlike the network DBMS, RDBMS does not support many-to-many relationships. Relational DBMS usually have predefined data types that they can support. This is the most popular DBMS type in the market. Examples of relational database management systems include MySQL, Oracle, and Microsoft SQL Server. Object-oriented relational DBMS. This type supports storage of new data types. The data to be stored is in the form of objects. The objects to be stored in the database have attributes, for example, gender or age, and methods that define what to do with the data. PostgreSQL is an example of object-oriented relational DBMS. So what is SQL? Structured Query Language, SQL, pronounced as SQL or sometimes as SQL, is actually the standard language for dealing with relational databases. SQL can be effectively used to insert, search, update, and delete database records. That doesn't mean SQL cannot do things beyond that. In fact, it helps in optimizing and maintenance of databases and much more. Relational databases like MySQL, Oracle, MS SQL, Sybase, etc. use SQL. SQL syntaxes used in these databases are almost similar, except the fact that some databases use different syntaxes and even proprietary SQL syntaxes. An example of an SQL statement: select star from members where age is greater than 30. DBMS stands for Database Management System. We have 4 major types of DBMSs called hierarchical, network, relational, and object-oriented. The most widely used DBMS is the relational model that saves data in table formats. It uses SQL as the standard query language. SQL is the standard language used to query a database. The database approach has many advantages when it comes to storing data compared to the traditional flat file-based systems.
So I hope you all have understood whatever has been explained in this. Is it clear? So
Yes.
is database is clear to everyone? The concept of databases?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So now we switch over to our MS Access. So like I said in the last class, you can use any version starting from MS Access 2007 to the latest Access 365 or 2019. And right now on this PC, you are watching the demonstrations from Access 2016 version. Okay. So now you can see in the previous class, we had already created a database named as CompanyDB, company database. And you can see it over here in the recent files, right? So instead of taking the pains of going to open other files, which will open this whole page, and from here I would have to go to browse, and from here I would have to browse to the location. Instead of doing that, I can simply click on this link over here, which will directly open the database. So I'm going to click on this link, which will directly open my already created database. Now, many a times you will get this kind of a warning. So what I'm going to do is, first, I will switch on the magnifier. Students, I will switch off my extra softwares, because last time my system got hanged because of it. Okay, so I have switched off the extra softwares. So right now you are getting this, some active content has been disabled. So what you need to do is click on enable content, because if you do not click on enable content, all the content will be lost. Now you can see over here something. Okay, I'll do one thing, I'll remove the magnifier also, because probably because of this only it got hanged last time. Anyway, so I hope you all are able to see the parts of the screen.
Yes,
On this side you can see
Yes.
all access objects, and the very first object which we had created in the last class, that is employee table. If you double click on this table now, you will be able to see the table as it was created in the previous class. So you can add more records into it, or you can add more columns from clicking on this button, that is click to add. So we are not going to add any more fields or anything else. We are going to add another table to this database, right? So for this, first we will close the table from here, and now we would be going to the create tab. Now the thing is, I had already explained to you that database is a file which contains a collection of tables, that is many related tables. So it's not like for creating one table you have to always create a new database. No, within one database you can create a collection of tables. एक ही database file के अंदर आप बहुत सारे tables को बना सकते हैं. Okay, so how can you create the tables? How can you add more tables? Because when you create a database for the first time, it automatically adds a table here. But now if you have to add another table, how to do that? Firstly, let us see what kind of table we would be creating. Okay, so we would be creating a department table. Okay, for this I'll have to open my Microsoft Whiteboard. So we will be creating a department table today. And this department table would contain DNO or DEPTNO, the same name which was there in the employee table. We have to check it. It was DEPTNO written in this way. Okay, department number, department name, and location. So these are the three things. I will give you an example. Suppose department number is 10, department name is sales, and location I'll be giving as Delhi. Now tell me the data types. What should be the data type for department number?
Number.
Yes, we will take number as the data type. For department name?
Small text.
Short text.
Short text, very good. Also for 2007 and 10 version, text. Location?
Short text.
Yes, again
Short
text. Fine, so this way we are going to create our table. So let us create the table. First we'll close this. Getting this window, I want to really move this window. Sharing system audio. Fine. Okay, so now we have to first click on this tab, that is create. Okay, you have to click on the create tab, and within the create tab you will be going to the tables group. You can see the tables group over here, and within this tables group you will find two options, table and table design. If you want to create your table using the design view, you will go to table design. If you want to create the table in the datasheet view, you have to click on table. So if I click on table, it will open the datasheet view, and you can create your table in the same way you had created the employee table before. But I'm not going to use that method today. I'm going to use the second method, that is table design. We'll click on table design, and it opens the table in which view? In the last class, I had explained there are basically two views in which you can view the table. One of the views is datasheet view, and the second one is the design view. So which view have I used right now?
Design view.
Yes, very good. Who is it? Nikhil? Is it Nikhil Porwal?
Ma'am, Arnav.
Arnav, very good Arnav. It is the design view. Okay, in the design view, you can see three columns: field name, data type, description. What do you specify in the field name? The names of all the fields. Okay, like department number, department name, location, all these. Data types, here you will be specifying the data type. So let us start with department number. So DEPTNO. Then next, the moment you press enter, it will automatically highlight data type, and by default, it will always choose short text. If you want to change, what you can do is click this drop down arrow where you will see a list of all the data types. So you will be selecting what? Number. Next, department name. So I had chosen the name depart D name. It will be short text only, so you can come down and type the next one, that is location. And this is also going to be short text. If you want, you can provide a description. This field uniquely identifies all the departments. And the next, you can type over here, this field stores the names of all departments. And this field stores the location or area where the departments are situated. Okay, so we have made all the specifications. Now what is our next step? We have to save our table. So we will go to save option and we will save the table as department. You just enter the name of the table and click on OK, and it will give you a message. There is no primary key defined. Now, what is this primary key? I had given a small introduction about primary key in the previous class. That is, if you have to, second. Just a second, students. In our country, no two people will have the same Aadhaar number. Okay, so Aadhaar number can be used for differentiating between the people. In your class, in your school also, each of you might be having something known as ADMNO. Can you tell me what this is?
Admission number.
Admission number. Okay. Now, why do you think this admission number is given to you? Why they have provided admission number and scholar number to each of the students in the school? Because there could be two students whose names are Aditya Singh. Some common names are there like Pooja, Aditya. These all are very common names. Some could be Aditya Singh, Pooja Sharma. So like this, we might be having many Pooja Sharma in the school, many Aditya Singh in the school. Okay, so just to differentiate between those people, they are provided some unique identification. And that unique identification is your admission number and scholar number, with which all your records are stored in the database. Now for your class information, like for example, if it is class 10th D or class 10th E, there is an attendance register which your class teacher maintains. You might have seen that. Okay. So now it's being over 4 or 5 months that we are taking classes from home, but now also teachers are taking attendance every day. Okay. Had it been the school environment, you would have seen your class teacher comes into the class and she has the attendance register where she calls out your names and writes present everywhere. Now that attendance register contains your information and every student has something known as a roll number. Why do you think roll number is used? काम तो नाम से भी हो सकता है, रोल नंबर क्यों चाहिए हमें? Can anybody tell me?
Ma'am,
Yes.
that case can take place a session also.
I couldn't hear you. The voice was getting distorted. हाँ.
Yes,
एक बार और बोलो.
ma'am, that you gave an example of Aditya Singh. So, ma'am, that case can also take place in a particular section as well.
Exactly. Yes. हाँ. Continue.
So more than one or two people have common names. So to differentiate that as well, roll numbers are assigned.
Very good, Preet. Wonderful answer. In your class also, you can have two or more students who have the same name, and not only the name, they may even have the same surname. Is there anybody in class 10th D and 10th E? Are there any two students who have the exact same name, first name as well as last name are the same? कोई है ऐसा? Usually I have seen a trend. There are Aditya, many Aditya you will find in one class, because this is a very, very common name. Okay. So it's like if suppose two people, they have the same first name as well as last name, it would be difficult for the teacher to differentiate. That is why roll number is provided to every student. Why? Because it is a known fact that no two students will have the same roll number. Okay. So that is why roll number is provided. So now what we are going to do is we are going to create a that roll number is what is known as a primary key. Likewise, in a company, in an organization, any employee would also have what? A primary key. Employees would have their employee code or employee ID. So that would become the primary key for that table. Like in this department, what do you think should be used as the primary key? Can anyone tell me?
Department number.
Department number. Very good. Okay. And in employee table, I'm opening the employee table. Okay, I can't open it right now. In the employee table which you had seen in the last class, which field do you think should become the primary key?
Department NO. DEPT NO.
My dear, in the employee table, let me tell you, you had something known as employee NO, which was used to uniquely identify every employee. Now, no two employees will have the same employee number, but two employees can work in the same department. So it is possible that employee 101 also works in department 10, employee 102 also works in department 10, employee 103 works in department 20, and four other employees also work in department 20. No doubt department number was there in that table also, but this is not a primary key. What is the primary key there? Employee number, because this serves as a unique identification for every employee. Here department number is a primary key within the department table, but because it is being used in the employee table to represent departments of employees, it will be known as foreign key within employee table. Employee table के अंदर department number foreign key कहलाएगा. Understood? Because it can have duplicate values and it is actually referring to which table? Department table. You cannot have any employee working in any fictitious department whose record is not there in the department table. If suppose there is no such department as department 30 in the department table and you have specified the department of one employee as 30, that will not be accepted when you are working with a database, especially softwares like Oracle. बिल्कुल भी नहीं चलता है, because Oracle is very strict when it comes to integrity checks. But such things could be a bit relaxed in MS Access, because MS Access is very, very user friendly. Oracle is not that user friendly. You have to literally take a course on Oracle to be able to work properly and use it as a backend for various applications which you develop. Okay, MS Access just gives you an insight into DBMS. This serves as a base. तो अभी आप MS Access से start करोगे and then you will slowly and gradually move over to MySQL, Oracle and other advanced DBMS software. Right. So now let's come back here. It is asking me, although a primary key isn't required, it's highly recommended. A table must have a primary key for you to define a relationship between this table and other tables in the database. Do you want to create a primary key now? So here what you will be selecting, no, because I have to create a primary key of my own. I have already created, that is DEPT-NO. So I will select this and I will be clicking on this button, that is primary key. You can see a small key symbol is added which says that this field is the primary key. There are two things associated with a primary key, students. Firstly, it is not null. That is, it cannot be left empty. And secondly, it has to be unique. These two things or these two features are always added with primary key. Primary key का मतलब ये होगा कि all the values, there will be no two records in a table which have the same primary key value, and none of the records will have empty value for primary key. आप primary key की value को empty नहीं छोड़ सकते. किसी भी employee को आप सोचो कि हम employee number नहीं देते हैं, तो ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. Every employee has to have the employee ID. Okay, so please remember this. So now we have created the structure. We will switch over to the datasheet view. How? You can see the view button over here, and in the home tab also you can see the view. So what you can do is just click on this view and click on datasheet, or you can also see the datasheet view here. So you can click on that. It is asking you, you must first save the table. Click on yes, and it quickly switches it over. Okay. So you can switch between design view and datasheet view. When it is in the design view, it gives you the option to open it in the datasheet view. When it is in the datasheet view, it gives you the option for opening in the design view. So this is your datasheet view, which shows the complete grid pattern. Now I will select this table, increase the font size a little so that it is quite visible to you. And here you can see department number, D name, and location. So here I have to provide the department number myself. And let us fill in some department names. Let me take this also as Mumbai HR.
मैम
Yes.
मैम मैम MS Access का कोई सब्स्टिट्यूशन है और कोई?
Apart from MS Access, you have softwares like FoxPro, which is hardly used. You have Microsoft SQL Server. You have PostgreSQL, SQL, MySQL. Okay, there are many database DBMS softwares available in the market. And also you have the open source counterparts also, like LibreOffice Base or OpenOffice Base. Okay. So this is your table, that is department. So now we have created our table. So this is how you add more tables to your database. Just let us revise. Where do we go if I have to create a new table?
Attendance.
Thank you. Yes, I have taken the attendance. Now tell me, if I have to add more table to this database, where should I go? Which tab?
Create.
Go to create. Now from create, tables group, you can see two options over here. You can either select the datasheet view option or the table design option. Okay. In the table design option, you can perform many tasks which you cannot perform in datasheet view. Now let us see what are the other things which we are going to study. So I'm going to open the PPT. Yes, next is creating a table in the design view. We have already done. Opening an existing database also we have seen. Lookup and relationship. So let us try to do this now. We go back to the database, and now the thing is I have to create a table which will give me options. Okay, that is, it should be something like this. I am creating a table called items. Okay, and this items contains item ID, item name, category of item, and price. So item ID should be something like this: I1, I2, I3, and so on. Item name I'm taking as, say, wheat flour. Category I'm taking as, you can say, should come as flour. Okay, flour. Price I'm taking as 150. Second is I2. Let me take it as olive oil. So this I will be taking the category as oils, and let me take the price as something like this. I3 I will be taking as rice. In fact, rice bran oil, that is also under the category of oils, and we'll have something. So we have certain categories like flour, oils, breakfast cereals. Okay, then we can have something like candy, spices, and condiments, and so on. So what I am going to do is, instead of letting the user type these values, because these are some categories and categories are only fixed in number, right? So we are going to give the user something like a drop down menu. User will get a drop down menu. When the user clicks on the drop down menu, he will find options like flour, oils, cereals, candy, spices, and condiments. All the user has to do is just click on them, click on any of these options, and that will appear over here in the table. So such kind of data types come under lookup and relationship. So let us see how to create lookup and relationship on the table. So I'll be closing this. I have to keep closing things, otherwise my system is going to hang. Last time it happened. So I'm going to go, for this I will be going to table design, and from here I'll be just typing item ID, and let me take the item ID as short text. Then next is item name. Students, if you are thinking that I can use auto number for I1, I2, I3, then you are wrong. In auto number, you can only use numbers, okay, not alphanumeric value. The moment you attach an alphabet with a number, it becomes alphanumeric. So this, then we have category. Okay, and here what I'm going to do is click on the drop down arrow and go to the last option, that is lookup wizard, and click on the lookup wizard. It will give me a small dialog box. This wizard creates a lookup field which displays a list of values you can choose from. How do you want your lookup field to get its values? First option is, I want the lookup field to get the values from another table or query. So we will not be doing this. We will be going with the second option, that is, I will type in the values that I want. Click on next. What values do you want to see in your lookup field? Enter the number of columns you want in the list and then type the values you want in each cell. To adjust the width of a column, drag its right edge. That is, you can easily drag it like this, right? So I have dragged it to make it best fit. Number of columns I will be setting as 1, and here one by one I would be giving the names. Now remember, don't use enter, because the moment you press enter key, next button will be clicked. So you press the down arrow key. Just sit back and see which all categories I enter over here. So I have entered some values over here. I'll go to next. What label would you like for the lookup field? So I'll keep the label as category only. Do you want to limit entries? Yes, I don't want the user to enter anything else. So I will click on limit to list and leave this box empty. That is allow multiple values. I will not see oil cannot come under spices, right? So I cannot allow multiple values to be selected. So hence I will click on finish. Now on finish, you will not find this lookup wizard here. You will find the data type as short text only. Why? Because that wizard just helped you in setting up the drop down list. But if you see at the heart of it, category is whatever you are specifying within category, its data type is short text only. Next is price. And for price, I will be selecting what? Can anyone suggest any suitable
Currency.
data type for price? Yes, somebody said currency. Very
Currency.
good. What is something special about currency? It accepts a currency symbol and a number separator also, as well as two places after the decimal only. Now our next step is to save the table. So I will save the table with the name items, or let me give a name like products. I've given a name products, click on OK. Again, it is saying no primary key defined, so click on no, and you can set item ID as the primary key. See, it is not always necessary as far as softwares like MS Access are concerned, right? So you can even skip it if you are not specifying any primary key over here, but there you have to be careful, because now the field will accept null values also, that is empty values also, and duplicate values also. Okay, if you set this as a primary key, then this table will not allow duplicate values. So it is always a good idea to set it as a primary key. Save the changes, close it from here, and what you can do is you can double click and open it, or as I said, you can just switch the view. Let us add some values like item name. I'm adding olive oil. Now when I move to the next one, you get a drop down arrow, and in the drop down arrow you get all these options. Okay, edit list items, you can click on this and you can add more list items also from here. For example, I can add something. Can anyone suggest any category? What all things do we have in our pantry? Flour, oils, spices, condiments, cereals. Oils I have already specified. Vegetables,
Eggs.
eggs can be considered as non-veg items. Okay, so I've just taken it that way. Some are also dairy products.
Bread.
Yes, breads also, various types of breads are also there. Yes, so we have added few
sauces.
more, and sauces. Yes, very good. So we'll keep it this much only, right? Now here you can set a default value. Like if somebody even forgets to enter something, you can just set, suppose, for example, your store has more spices and condiments, or it is famous for spices and condiments than the other things. So you can set spices and condiments as the default value. Even if somebody skips the category for a particular record, it will automatically set it as spices and condiments. And if that person wants, that person can also select something else. So I've set spices and condiments as the default value. Click on OK. And now when you click, you can see that I hadn't selected it anywhere. So automatically it is giving me spices and condiments, but you can always change it. Like oils, olive oil will be considered as oil only. Okay. Next, let me write here chili oil, that I can specify this under spices and condiments also and oils also. Let me specify the price. So I press 275 and click on enter. Automatically it takes up the formatting. And here also let me specify something 50 rupees. Then next I3, and here I will specify something like the whole wheat flour. And this will be specified under. Now here you can simply type F and you will get flour. Press enter and you will move to the next one. This way you can decrease your dependence on the mouse also. So I have provided something like 78 rupees for this. Then I4, and I'm going to just specify something like, and let me take this as oils, and that's it. Okay,
Ma'am,
this one you don't need to worry about. Yes.
ma'am, I have a doubt that I can see in your desktop that there is a rupee sign, and in my computer it is showing a
A
dollar
dollar
sign.
sign, yes. So for
Yes,
that, you
ma'am.
need to change that by going to your regional settings of the computer, right? So for that, we'll go to settings, going to settings, and we'll go to time and language, speech, region, and other things. And over here, I had done a little bit of hit and trial over here. Okay, so we'll go to region, and I've selected country or region India, current formats India, and that helps me. Some additional settings you can make from here, like date, number format. So I'm clicking on this. Then from here I'll be going to additional settings, and here I'll go to currency, and here I had selected the rupee symbol. Okay, so you can enter the rupee symbol from somewhere. Normally no modern desktop keyboards, they get a rupee symbol also, so you can use it along with the right side alt key. Okay, so if you click, so press the alt key on the right hand side and press the numeric key which has a rupee symbol on it, you will get the rupee symbol. Okay, try doing this. And but most computers you won't get this setting because it all depends upon the Windows updates. Okay, most of the students these days, I have noticed one thing, that they don't even have service pack 1. So if you are working on softwares like Windows 7 or something, or Windows 8, you have to make sure that you download the appropriate Windows update, okay, from Microsoft site. Only then you will be able to do it, right? So sometimes you may not be able to do it because you don't have that required update on your system. So you need to update your system first, and then you will be able to get that. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
why you had not activate your Windows?
Can we discuss this later, because I don't think it is relevant with the class, Yashneel?
Sorry, ma'am.
Or perhaps you can help me in getting some activator so I can activate. Okay. Now that you have asked me the question, you will be helping me out with that. Okay. So this is it. We have completed lookup and relationship also. Now certain now few things on the table. So I'm going to first increase its font size. Now on this table, I can also perform a lot many operations. Like I want to display the total price of all the items. How to do that? So for that, you can just place your cursor anywhere and you can go to your table tools and fields, and one second. Yes, you can go to your home tab. Within the home tab, you have to go to the records group and you can click on this button that is totals. Now, when you go to totals and you click on any numeric field, you will get a drop down arrow. Click on that and you can select from a number of different functions like sum, average, count, maximum, minimum, and so on. Sum will give you the total sum total of all the values here. Okay. You can change it to average. This is the average price. Count how many values are there. There are 4 values excluding this one because this is only a placeholder for typing a new field, right? If I type a new field, new record over here, and let me take something as multigrain. I'll take it under the category flower and let me take it as 200 rupees. Now it automatically, the count automatically changes to 5. Similarly, maximum will give you the maximum price of the item. Minimum will give you the minimum price of an item. Standard deviation, it is again a statistical function which will give you some standard deviation, and then you have variance also. So we do, of course we don't need all of them, right? So this is just a function which is given so that you can easily quickly calculate certain things. Now, if you are using it on the alphanumeric fields, what do you get? Only one option, that is count. In these fields, you can only get count or none, right? Now, if you select none from here, nothing will be displayed, right? And when you again toggle, press on this totals column will be gone from there. Okay, so that's it for today. We will be again resuming back in the next class. Please practice these things, that is creating a database, adding tables to the database, datasheet view, design view, okay, selecting field names, lookup and relationship, and finally also calculating totals, using the total fields to calculate total feature to perform calculations, simple calculations on our table. Okay, practice all these things and then we'll meet in the next class. Thank you everyone.